Hello everybody. So this is lesson number 6 for Malaikah, which is the Arabic term for angels, as part of the Muslim beliefs topic for paper number 2 of the Edexcel specification. So if I now present my screen, so I can share it with you all, and you'll be able to see the PowerPoint that I've made available through our Google Classroom. So first kind of thinking question that we're going to have is, do you believe in angels? Have you ever seen angels being portrayed or illustrated? This could be in books, this could be in churches that you may have visited. Anything at all really, guys. And I've got some images on the screen for you as well. Have a look at those. Are there any stories that you can take from these images that you may recognise? Now, the bottom left image is the angel Gabriel visiting the Virgin Mary to tell her that she has been highly favoured by the Lord and will give birth to a son. So that might be a picture that you may have been able to recognise. So I've got some thinking questions here. So have you ever asked the universe on what should you do in a tricky situation? Have you asked for some sort of guidance? Have you asked for strength when you have felt weak and upset? If you have, during those times, then some people do believe that you may have an angel that guides you through your life. So you could be thinking, oh God, what do I do about this certain situation? And then you suddenly feel the strength of knowing what you need to do. Some people believe that is somebody perhaps guiding you, an angel guiding you. So our learning objective today, you need to identify and describe the nature and importance of angels for Muslims. You're going to explain how angels are shown in the Quran and to assess the significance of angels for Muslims today. Now, with our two religions, Christianity and Islam, it is Islam that really does make the belief of angels a focal point of their belief system. As we know, Angel Gabriel was featured in Christianity, and he is important, but for Islam and Muslims, they really do believe they are of the utmost importance. I've peppered some photos of me throughout the PowerPoint because I made this PowerPoint when you guys were at home and I didn't have a video, so you couldn't see my lovely face, and of course you want to see my lovely face. So first of all, guys, we're going to understand the nature of angels. So Muslims believe that angels, otherwise known as Malaikah, were created before humans with the purpose of following the orders of Allah and communicating with humans. Muslims believe that angels, like all other creatures, were created by God. In Islamic belief, angels communicate messages from Allah to humanity. So just that first paragraph there, guys, you could be asked a question. State 3 key beliefs of Malaikah. And you could say, firstly, one key belief is the fact that Malaikah means angels in Arabic. Number 2, they are created before humans by Allah to be his servants. And thirdly, they are there to communicate messages from Allah to humanity. So you've already got 3 key beliefs there, but we're going to kind of go on to these bullet points to kind of summarize it even more. So, angels in Islam have the following qualities. They are made from light. They have no free will. As I said, they're servants to Allah. They tell Allah about the behaviour of humans. Now, if you have learnt about Akira, which is the belief in the afterlife, Muslims believe that when your body dies, your soul is taken to Allah to be judged. And Allah will judge your deeds on whether or not you've been good or bad. And he knows that information because angels have been recording the behaviour of human beings. And so that's how he knows. They believe that angels are limitless, so they are possible of doing all different types of things. They are invisible, however, they may reveal themselves to humans on special occasions. For example, the angel Jibril, which is Arabic for angel Gabriel, so they do believe in the same angel Gabriel, revealed himself to Prophet Muhammad as a man, but when angel Jibril / Gabriel revealed himself to Isa is the word for Jesus, he was a dove. So again, kind of linking into limitless and being invisible, they can take many different forms. They believe they are described as having pairs of wings, which some Muslims believe to be literal and others believe it is more of a metaphor. And angels help those whose faith is strong. So lots of factual knowledge there for you for what Muslims believe in, and this really helps you to understand that the term, the nature of angels. You could also have a B question, explain two beliefs of the nature of angels, of Malaikah, and that's when you could take one of these points, develop, and then do it again because it's worth 4 marks. Okay, so now let's focus on Angel Jibril. You're going to learn about 3 key angels, Jibril, Mikhail, and Israel. You need to know all 3 of them. You need to know a quote for all 3 of them, and you need to know why they are important. So let's crack on. So Jibril is the bringer of good news. He is mentioned in both the Quran and the Hadith. Now, the Hadith is the book of the sayings of Muhammad. It's not as important as the Quran because the Quran is the book of Allah, Allah's word, and Hadith is Muhammad, but it's still a really important text. The angel Jibril revealed Allah's words in the form of the Quran to Muhammad on the night of power, where he demanded Muhammad to read. He was like, read, or recite. And you can use that quote in your examination papers. Because of this, he is known as the Angel of Revelation, as he played a vital role in communicating Islam to humanity. The angel Jibril is known as the angel Gabriel in Christian scriptures, and in the Quran, Allah makes it very clear that anyone who opposes Jibril or the other angels will become an enemy of Allah. So you want to keep, the angels on a good side. And you have a quote here, guys. So we only descend at your Lord's command. Now, you should already know that quote. When we looked at angels in the 6 beliefs of Sunni Islam, that's where you would have seen that. Oh. Okay, there's me. So you can explain who Jibril is, how is he shown in the Quran, and why is Jibril important for Muslims. So those are the kind of questions that you could get in your examination paper. Okay, now let's move on to Israel. Now, Israel is the angel of death. Bum, bum, bum. He is responsible for taking the souls from bodies when people die and returning them to Allah. So again, if you've kind of learned about Akira already, you'd be like, yes, I remember this. He takes the soul to Barzakh, which is the stage between death and the time of judgment. Do not confuse Barzakh with purgatory. Purgatory is a Catholic belief about where you can purify your soul and work off any bad stuff that you might have done in your life. Barzakh is completely different. Barzakh is a waiting room. You wait to be judged. So the day of judgment will be signalled by Israel blowing a trumpet to signify the end of the world. I don't know why, but I really love that belief. I just think it's really, really unique to Islam. There's no angels going to come down, the apocalypse, end of the world, with a little trumpet, raising the souls, taking them to Allah. But yeah, very interesting stuff. So only Allah knows the time and place of every individual's death. And this really links into the belief of al-qadar, which means predestination. And again, I'm hoping now that you've done a couple of these lessons, things are now starting to link. So at first it can seem quite scary, lots of kind of Arabic terms, but then you soon realise once going through the course, a lot of it is kind of regurgitated and linked together. You have a quote, the angel of death put in charge of you will reclaim you. So of course that's referring to when Israel will take the souls and take them to Allah who created you. Okay, the last angel is Mikhail. So the angel Mikhail, also known as Michael in Christianity, is a friend of humanity. He's known as the giver of rain, which waters the land and helps to provide food for people. Some Muslims believe it's physical food, others believe it's more spiritual food, soul food. He's believed to guard places of worship and reward people's good deeds. He is also known as the angel of mercy, and he will ask Allah to forgive people for their sins. So Michael is like, good friend of humanity. He's got your back. He's going to feed you, and he's going to have a word with Allah to make sure that if you've done something naughty and you are very, very sorry and you won't do it again, Allah will be aware. So it's believed that both the angel Jibril and the angel Mikhail will be present on the day of judgment. Quote, whoever is an enemy to Allah and his angels and his messengers and Jibril and Mikhail then indeed Allah is an enemy to the disbelievers. So again, it's really about having faith in the angels, in the prophets, and then you're gonna feel good inside. So, progress check. Here is an example of an A question you could get. State 3 Muslim beliefs of Malaikah, worth 3 marks. And as I said, you never bullet point. You don't want 3 full descriptive sentences showing off what you know. And the B question, explain 2 reasons why Angel Israel is important to Muslim, 4 marks. Now, if you'd like to pause and answer those questions, go for it. If not, and you want to just work on the answer sheet, the question sheet, then do that, guys. Whatever's easiest for you. I want to give you quite a range of different things that you can do, because I know you all work differently. Okay, so what is the significance of angels today, in today's society? Now, what is really important to remember, guys, I've put it in this orange box pizzazzy thing. The angels are not within the 5 roots of Shia Islam, of Usaladin. Now, that does not mean that Shia do not believe in them. All Muslims believe in angels, but Sunni make sure that the angels are within their 6 core fundamental beliefs. So if you had a D question evaluating the significance of angels for all Muslims, that would be a really, really good evaluative point to make. So reading here, Muslims believe they are very relevant today because it's the 2nd most important article of faith for Sunni Muslims. They help believers in times of need, and angels are known as a kiraman kataban. That's a really good key term to have. Please make sure that you've got it. So that translates to noble scribes. Now, this is the term to describe the belief that each person has one angel on their right shoulder and one on their left shoulder. The one on the right records good deeds, whereas the left takes note of your bad deeds, which will then be presented to Allah on the day of judgment. So the angels basically write down a spiritual book of your deeds, and then that's presented to Allah. So they help Allah decide on whether or not you should be going to Al-Jannah, which is paradise, or Jahannam, which is hell. Next point, Muslims will say peace be upon you, al-Salaam, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, to each angel during their prayer. So as they kneel down, they prostrate to the mat on the floor, they will say peace be upon you to each of one of the angels, again to show really respect to the fact that these angels are going to help you. They're really there to be respected. You've got 2 questions here. What effect might the Kiraman Kataban have on Muslims today? And which teaching about angels is the most important for Muslims? Again, these are kind of thinking questions for you to have a think about. Now, if you do need any more help with any of this, guys, GCSE Pod is amazing. Definitely go on there, really good videos, and then BBC Bite Size as well. Now, these are specific links for Malaikah, so make sure you check them out if you need any more help. Now, this is an example of a D question you could get. Angels have no relevance today. Evaluate this claim. So you would say, well, if you look at the bullet points, it says Muslim teachings. You would never, ever, ever, ever say some Muslims believe they are not relevant, because they do. They all do. But really, you need to deconstruct the belief system between Sunni and Shia and say, well, Sunni may appreciate them more as they're in the 6 beliefs, whereas for Shia, they are not in the 5 roots. However, they are still very, very important. The angel Israel, Mikhail, and you just basically have this big debate, this flowing debate, making connections. Do not make it formulaic. Do not just say some Muslims believe in this because blah, 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 blah. For example, this means that. No. You do that in the B question and the C question, the little marks, the 4 marker and the 5 marker. But for this one, guys, if you read the descriptor for the level 4, the 10 out of 12, you need to critically deconstruct religious information, leading to coherent and logical chains of reasoning that consider different viewpoints. If you just do that, some Muslims, for example, you will not do that. You will not be hitting what they want in order to get the 12 out of 12. These are underpinned by a sustained, accurate and thorough understanding of religion and belief. Connections are made among the full range of elements in the question. So to make sure that you really are putting in the quotes in there, as well as having this debate and making sure that you include all different viewpoints. You need to construct coherent and reasoned judgment of the full range of elements in the question. Judgments are fully supported by the comprehensive appraisal of evidence. That means, guys, you need 50% of your essay answer to be subject knowledge, but then the other 50% needs to be, well, what's strong, what's weak about the argument that you have presented. So that's the difference between your AO1, which is subject knowledge, and your AO2, which is your appraisal and evaluation. So here's the kind of little guide to help you. The first judgment, and then your AO2, deconstruct it, give it a strength, give it a weakness. Miss Blatch likes to call it a what went well and an even better if of the argument that you have made, which I think is a really nice way of thinking about it. Then your second judgment, again, what went well, even better if, and then your conclusion. Remember, the conclusion chooses the most convincing side of the argument and you explain why. Do not repeat anything you've already said. That's boring, yeah? Don't bore us. So guys, yeah, that's another kind of way of looking at it, is if you need help with the D question. So, have you been able to identify and describe the nature and importance of angels? Have you explained how angels are shown in the Quran, so your quotes? And have you assessed the significance of angels for Muslims today? If you've done all three, fantastic. If you need to go back and work on something, then you do that, guys. So lovely. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen, and that is it, guys. So best of luck with revision and learning, and if you need anything at all, let me know. You can email me or Miss Blatch, or leave us a little message on the Google Classroom. Have a lovely day. Namaste.